Okay, I think we are back up and running. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, guys. That was not supposed to happen. Um, and we are back to the stream. So we are going to get right into this because we didn't mean to kind of fall off of the stream. So let's talk about colleges and getting in and writing essays that get you scholarships. So let's do a quick recap. Where you guys from? If you just got on the stream, we had some technical difficulties, but we're going to talk about writing essays that get you scholarships. My computer had died and I don't know how that happened. It became unplugged. So I'm going to teach you guys how to write these essays. So first we are going to open up these slides because that's really important. This has just been a crazy morning, guys, but we got this. We got this. Okay, so opening up the slides, and we are ready. So we're ready. Awesome. So let's get this in full screen. And we're talking about writing essays that get you scholarships. So what does that mean, writing essays that get you scholarships? Because usually you're thinking about doing your admissions essays just to get into the school, not necessarily to get scholarships. Usually you'll just think of a Common App. You'll do other things that will just get you into school, but I want to show you guys how you can write essays that get you scholarships. So you're in the right place if you want to get large scholarships like full rides to the universities that you're applying to. You're a high achieving high school student who already has the grades, but you need help applying to college. Your family can't afford the full price to pay for college. Your college essay idea is okay, but you want to take that topic to amazing. So I'm going to show you how to do those things. During this masterclass, I'm going to show you the methods I use to write compelling admissions essays that help me receive 3 full tuition scholarships. I'm going to help you decide on your unique college admissions essay topic. And if you've already started, this still is the right place for you because I'll help you kind of go backwards and see if this is even the right essay topic before you submit your apps. If you submitted apps already, you can even go back and change your essay. So that's just something to keep in consideration. And I'm going to help you outline the steps to personalizing your admissions essay and optimizing it for scholarship awards. So bonus, everyone who RSVP'd will receive a free essay guide. See the description box if you did not RSVP because you can still get the free essay guide if you go and click the link and you can enter your email address and it'll be quick and easy like that. So make sure you go in the description box and you click the link if you want to get that free essay guide. That will be emailed out to everyone after this live stream. So flashback to 2015, that's when I was a senior in high school. I was thinking about applying to college, but I was a first-generation student, so I had tons of questions that I couldn't get answered at home. I needed a lot of scholarship money because my family was, we were middle class, we weren't low income, so we couldn't receive that need-based aid, but we weren't super high income, so we couldn't pay the full price tag of college. I needed to get large scholarships to pay for college. So I researched every day to see how I could get a full ride, whether I needed to get small scholarships, whether I needed to work, whether I needed to do different things. But I wanted to get that full ride. I wanted one school to give me all the money. And then I figured out how I could better my chances through writing a compelling college admissions essay. So my college essay helped me receive $500,000 in scholarships in total from all the schools I applied to. I received 3 full tuition scholarships to New York University, the University of Southern California, where I currently attend, and the University of Miami. So, NYU gave me $45,000 a year. USC gave me $50,000 a year, and University of Miami gave me their full tuition, which is like $45,000 a year. And that's crazy because when you think of schools like NYU, like they only gave 30 students merit scholarships that year, which were full tuition scholarships. Only 30 out of the 60,000 that applied, and I was one of those 30. Crazy. And my college essay basically allowed me to have the power to choose where I wanted to attend school. So now I'm a student at USC, and I will graduate debt-free. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. So, your college essay should double as an admissions and a scholarship application. My essay basically helped me win over $500,000 in university scholarship offers, and I'm going to show you how to do the same. So here's my 4-step guide to amazing essays. So number 1, start with you. Number 2, figure out what the university offers and wants from you. 3, brainstorm an outline. And 4, draft your final essay and get feedback. So we're going to go through each of these 4 steps. If you have questions along the way, make sure you send your questions. We'll have a full Q&A at the end. And we'll be right on our way to number 1, starting with you. So first, the biggest thing is to utilize your activities resume. So an activities resume is a document that lists all of your high school involvements, awards, test scores, and important information. Having an activities resume will speed up your process to applying to colleges and scholarships, writing essays. It's basically the base of all of your applications when you get to be a senior. So you want to make sure that if you are not a senior, you want to start to build your activities resume, and by senior year, you should have it nice and ready. Next, you want to start analyzing your personality traits. So I'd say a good way to do this is to build like a 3-tier chart, and then write down 10 words you would use to describe yourself. Then write down 10 words other people use to describe you, and then circle the similar words that you have, and that way you can see how other people describe you and how you describe yourself and those things that fall in line. So that's a good way to just start to get to know yourself if you really don't know how to talk about yourself, which a lot of students don't know how to do because your admissions essay isn't like your other essays that you write for school, like the 5-paragraph introduction, conclusion, all of that. It still should have some of those traits, but your admissions essay is in the first person, and it's really important to note that. Okay, so next, you kind of want to figure out what do you want an admissions officer to know about you. So when you have someone reading your essay, what do you want them to like learn about you? What do you want them to take away? This is like your one chance to talk about yourself on your whole comment app, because the rest are just filling out forms and things like that. But this is your chance to speak. And what do you want your admissions officer to know about you, and what can you say that isn't already on your other aspects of your college application, like your other supplements, your teacher recs, and start to write down things that you want your admissions officer to take away, because sometimes you'll write your essay and you won't even consider the things that you want someone to take away from this, and then that leaves out a chance for you to impress an admissions officer and get them to learn things about you. So now, after you kind of figure out those first couple things, your personality traits, your activities resume, and start prioritizing what you want your essay to say about you, also consider, we haven't even looked at any essay prompts yet. This is just analyzing yourself. So don't consider your essay prompts when you're doing these steps. So Next, I want you to write down 10 possible topics for your admissions essays, and make sure you avoid cliches. So next to each topic, to avoid a cliche, you basically will make that essay idea specific to you. So next to each topic, write down an anecdote, a small story, something that only pertains to you, because if someone else could write the same essay as you, then that means that there's thousands of other essays in the admission pool like yours that you need to try to make yourself stand out a little bit, because everyone probably was on a sports team or on an academic team or in some type of club, and every high school has a National Honor Society, every high school has a soccer team. So that's too broad of a topic. You want to choose a specific day on the field, choose a specific competition you're at that only you can write about. So that's why that is important. Okay, so after you start with you, some of you guys were having trouble refreshing, so I'm just going to recap a little bit. We talked about utilizing an activities resume. We then talked about analyzing your personality traits, and we figured out what you wanted the essay to reveal about you and your admissions officer, and then writing down possible topics. So that is step 1. So I know a couple of people are having trouble getting access to the live stream because we did go offline a little bit. So I want you guys to also come back after the live stream. You'll have a full replay of the live stream. So don't worry, you'll be able to come back and watch this. So second, you want to figure out what the university offers and what they want from you. So by this I mean figure out how much money they're actually giving out. Like, don't put all of your stones in one bowl. I don't know the saying, but don't put all of your chances into one school if they're not even giving out money. So you want to figure out what schools are giving out money. And these are the schools that you might want to add to your list, your college list. Maybe have a mix of schools that are giving out a lot of money and schools that aren't giving out that much money and things like that. So let's get into figuring out what the university offers. So basically you want to look up university merit scholarships. So you can Google eggs in one basket. Thank you, Lily. So you want to research the merit scholarships. So you can Google merit scholarships at UGA, for example, because there's someone in the chat who wants to go to UGA. You can research merit scholarships at USC, NYU, wherever you want to go. You can just Google merit scholarships and a list should come up. And you want to look at how much money they're offering. You want to look at how many people are getting these scholarships, just things like that. So you just need to figure out who is giving the money and how many people and what types of people are getting that money. So you can also research the freshman profile at each university. And a freshman profile basically tells who is getting admitted into the school, demographics, what types of grades they have, and things like that. Sorry about that. The slides got kind of crazy, so we're fixing those. So the freshman profile will tell you like their grades, their SAT and ACT scores. It will basically give you the breakdown of what types of kids are getting in, and sometimes they even break down those grades and scores of the people who get scholarships. So that's really important that you know the merit scholarships that are offered and the freshman profile of the people getting in and the people getting scholarships. So then you can talk to the students who receive scholarships at these universities. So you can reach out to students who maybe went to your high school who are now there. You can reach out to me because I received a couple of scholarships, but maybe you're not, those aren't the schools you're applying to. You can talk to admissions officers to see if they can put you in touch with any students. Social media, utilize social media because that is going to be your biggest help by just searching people who got into certain schools and things like that. So after you do all of your research on the freshman profile, the merit scholarships, and talk to people who actually got these scholarships, you use that information to figure out what type of students are getting scholarships. So for me, I wrote down all of the GPAs, test scores, involvements. You don't really want to mirror like your extracurriculars off of someone else, like do the same exact things, but you want to kind of look at the depth of how they're involved. So if they're the president of organizations, you want to be the president of organizations. Does that mean you have to be the same organizations? No. You just want to show that you are committed to certain organizations and things like that. Okay, so quick recap before we go to brainstorming. This research step is probably the most important, so I really want to emphasize that you need to figure out who's getting these scholarships so you can align your activities resume, your essay, and things like that to those traits, because most likely the school has a pattern or a methodology to choosing who gets scholarships. And you want to make sure that you fall in line with that methodology. And this is not just one time for all the schools you're applying to. This is for each individual school to figure out who's getting scholarships. Because you might find that like certain types of students are getting scholarships here, certain types of students are getting scholarships there. Sometimes even just the merit scholarship page will tell you what traits they want. I know the University of Miami had specific test score requirements for their merit scholarships, like listed right on the page. So make sure you are looking at these pages. It might be hard to find. You might have to call some admissions officers or email them to see where you can find the information, but it's out there, I promise. Okay, so number 3 is brainstorming and outlining 3 topics. So you have your list of 10 topics and you have your anecdotes. So now you're going to choose 3 topics from your list of 10. And these topics should fall in line with your activities resume, personality analysis, and should fall in line with your research. And you want to choose your strongest 3 out of 10. And we are going to take those 3 and you're going to create an outline for each essay topic. So an outline will basically show the progression of your essay. I'm sure you make outlines for your high school classes, but remember, this essay is not like your other academic essays that you've written. This essay should be in the first person. It should tell a story. This should tell a story. This should not just be a list of this should not just be a list of everything you've done in high school. This should not be like one paragraph for freshman year, one paragraph for sophomore year, one paragraph for junior year, one paragraph for senior year. This is not that case. You want to do a paragraph that progresses. So maybe your first couple paragraphs are the story, then your last paragraph is like what you learned or what that reveals about you. I see a couple of people asking that you want topic examples. So the topic examples come from your activities resume. The topic examples come from your personality traits that you do your beginning steps on. So you look at your activities resume, you choose something that's on there, and you take your topic from that. You can do things that aren't on your activities resume, but your activities resume is basically outlining the important things that happened to you over your 4 years of high school. So if it's not on your resume, then it probably wasn't that important to you because you didn't even list it on your activities resume. But sometimes you might find things that are pertaining to your life that don't fit on your resume, and then that can be something that you write a topic on. So for me, my essay topic was how I was involved in a certain diversity organization, and basically one of the big initiatives that I worked on in that organization. So it wasn't like me being the head of the organization. It was a specific project I worked on. That's what I mean by anecdote, and the change that came about from working on that project. So it was really specific. It wasn't a broad topic. I didn't talk about all the things I was involved in high school. I didn't talk about all the awards I received. I just talked about one thing, and that's telling a story. Your essay is a story. If you want to list things, you can do that right on the Common Application. That's why they have it. Your essay should not be a list. So, outlines. In each outline, you should have facts, anecdotes, points that reveal your personality traits that we already went over, your academic achievement, why you would be a great college student. You don't have to say that specifically, but it should reveal. So, you might say in your essay a line about how you were studying super hard, and that reveals that you would be a great college student. So, you don't have to say it directly. And then for your supplements, what you can contribute to the university, that should be somewhere. You should be saying specific things about what you would do at that university specifically. If you don't have supplements, then use your Common App essay to just kind of say how you would be a leader at any university. So you should have things that kind of reveal that about you as well. So the last point for your brainstorming and outline essay topics, you don't want to repeat information that is already in your essay or somewhere else on your application. And you don't want to assume that an admission officer knows something about you. If everybody knows that you are funny, an admission officer is not going to know that. So you want your essay to kind of have some type of humor in it, or kind of mention that you're funny if that's one of your personality traits that you made your analysis with, and it like funny was like the number one thing that everyone said about you. You kind of want your essay to reveal that about you, because that's something huge in your life. So we're going to pause for a second, and I just want to know how you guys are doing. I know this is a lot of information I'm throwing out at you, so if you're doing good, send me a thumbs up, or just I'm good. If you're a little bit confused, send a question that I can answer at the end. If you have a couple of topics you might do, send 3 topics. Just, it doesn't have to be really specific, but send 3 kind of topics in the chat box that you are thinking about doing, and I'll kind of read through some of these and tell you if I think that's a good idea, bad idea. We can do that before we get to our last point for your essays. So send me some of your topic ideas, and I'll just tell you what I think about them right here on the chat. I might not get to do everyone's, but I do want to just take a little intermission so you guys can like kind of start thinking about your topics right here. And if you already wrote your essay, send your essay topic. So let's get some of these essays through. You guys are doing great. Awesome. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds while you guys type those in. So we have a question: how can you explain a bad year in your personal statement? So I'm not one for negative essays. That does not mean you can't explain something bad that happened to you. But I say that you should always use a bad to show a good. So something might have happened where you got in a car accident, for example. So you don't want to depress your admissions officer. Of course, that is a sad situation, but maybe you show that that built your character, showed you how to persevere. You use that experience to help you build a nonprofit for students affected by car accidents, etc., etc. It doesn't have to be something as grand as that, but that's just the example I thought of right on the spot. You just want to make sure that if you're explaining something bad that happened to you, you can bring a positive out of it, show that you're optimistic, and kind of maybe say how that's going to help you while you're in college, because this is a college essay, so you might want to kind of mention how that's going to help you as a college student, etc., blah, blah, blah. So let's look at some of these essay topics. Shadowing experience. Yeah, that's a good idea to talk about. Maybe not even the whole shadowing experience, but think about a specific time where that was really valuable to you. When specific, I mean like choose a day on a calendar. So maybe you guys are volunteering one day at a event, write specifically about that. You want to make your essay as narrow as possible because that is what helps you write a story. Xavier says running my own business with friends. Awesome. So that's a really unique factor. Not every student runs a business, but instead of writing about your whole business, like what you guys do, things you guys sell, or things you guys provide, no, maybe choose a specific time where helping a customer or working together taught you something, a specific time when you guys were brainstorming and you thought of something amazing, like specific, because that is a great topic, but it could be watered down if you try to talk about too much in that essay. I have a draft for an essay about my height, being a girl over 6 feet. Okay, so that's definitely a unique essay topic, being over 6 feet. So I don't really know how specific you're getting into that, but like I said, anecdotes. So anecdotes are so important because that is what gets you that storyline, and that is how you can reveal more about your personality. Because if you're too broad, it can just end up being a list, and they don't learn anything about you. So we're going to do 2 more. We have Phoebe who said, I wanted to talk about my growth throughout high school. So Phoebe, that's a really broad topic because high school is 4 years. So, and your essay is going to be not that long. It's only supposed to be like some essays or supplements say 500, 1,000 words. So think about that word requirement because 4 years is a long time. So your growth throughout high school, instead of maybe talking about every year, talk about where you are now, and then maybe talk about some things that led up to it. So maybe choose like 1 or 2 specific events that led up to you being that way. Because honestly, your growth throughout high school probably wasn't your day-to-day stuff, like going to class every day, eating lunch every day. All that you can skip. Think about some pinnacle events that led you up to being where you are today. And don't just talk about your growth. Like, make sure you're telling them where you are today, because a lot of people will say like, oh, this happened, this happened, but then so what? Make sure you're telling them where you are and why that's good for you to be a college student, etc., etc. Okay, so we're going to do one more. Personally choosing to go to school an hour away from home. Okay, yeah, so that's a good topic. You can kind of hit it from an angle where your academics meant a lot to you. You can talk about you can make it a whole story of your process to getting to school. Like, you can waste like 3 paragraphs of saying, yeah, I wake up, blah, 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 blah. An hour later, I'm sitting in class. And then you can get into why that's important to you. That would be a really cool essay. So let's get into number 4, just so we could take a break, intermission. So get out your notebooks again. We're about to go hard on our last essay strategy. So let's get these slides back over here. Oops. Okay, slides back up. Okay. So, number 4, drafting your final topic in review. Wow, in the past, like, 35 minutes, we already wrote a whole essay. Just kidding. This is overtime, guys. Make sure you don't try to do all of this tonight. Just breathe. This is a whole process. Okay, so we got to choose one of the 3 outlines. We outline 3 essays. That's a lot of work, just outlining. But you really want to outline all of them, because after the outline, you can really see if an essay is strong or not. If you just go ahead and write one essay, you're kind of selling yourself short, because you could have had another essay topic that was like way stronger. So you can even get feedback on your outlines, like before you even, because some people just wait until their final essay is done to get their feedback. But you can even get feedback on your outlines from a parent, friend, guidance counselor, someone who knows you well. So don't worry about that. You can get feedback early on. Don't think you have to wait till the end. So go through a process, maybe spend a day or 2 trying to choose which outline is stronger. and you can start to expand your outline until you have a draft of your admissions essay. So by expanding your outline, I mean start adding details, start adding anecdotes. Make sure you double check that you're not being too broad as you're writing your essay. Try to make it a story. So if somebody's telling you this, make sure it reads like a conversation, not like one of your formal essays you write for class and for English class. Make sure you do things that are going to help get the attention of an admissions officer who's reading thousands of essays. You want yours to stand out. Because, like I said, you're not only trying to get into these schools, you're trying to get scholarships. So your essay should be like, oh, I want to give this girl $200,000 to come to this school. You want to prove that not only do they just want you to be a student, they want you to be a scholarship student. Okay, so drafting your final topic and review. You want to highlight strong places in your essay and write down what they reveal about you. So you kind of want to go back to your initial research, so your personality analysis, your activities resume, and all of the research you did about the school, and you want to use some highlighters and highlight places where that information is evident. So it, like I said, don't say it straight out. You want to maybe say, talk about maybe a time where you spent all night studying. That reveals that you're like a hardworking student. So you don't have to say, I am a hardworking student. You can use an example, and then the admissions officers are smart, and they'll know that that means you're hardworking. Or you don't have to say, I was heavily involved in high school. You can list out all the organizations you're in. But once again, be careful with lists because your common application already says all of the activities you were in. And finally, feedback. You can get feedback from an English teacher that knows you well. You don't just want to go to any English teacher, because your essay is supposed to be personal. So you want to go to a teacher that knows you well. It doesn't have to be English as well, but English would be great because they can help you with grammar and making sure the structure's right and all of that good stuff. Your parents, be a little bit iffy with parents because they might try to change your whole entire essay after you do all this work. So definitely take their feedback with a grain of salt. Unless they're like an admissions officer, then take all the advice they have to give you. And you can ask someone who recently went through the college admissions process. So if someone in your neighborhood is at college or someone you know personally, just say, hey, can I email you my admissions essay to get a couple of ounces of feedback? I also do admissions essay review, just to plug myself, at yougotintowear.com. You can get me to review your essay. And then you go to services if you want me to review your essay. It is a paid service, but just in case you have no one else who can review your essay. And then guidance counselors. You can ask your guidance counselor to go over your essay with you, and we can get that feedback. So don't just go to one person, go to multiple people. Don't change things on your essay immediately. Maybe like print out copies for each time you have someone to review your essay. And then once you get all the feedback, look at it all, then make changes to your essay. Don't just like what one person influence the whole trajectory of your essay. Get a bunch of people's feedback and then go ahead and make changes. All right. So those are the 4 steps, but that's not it. A strong essay can improve your chances of getting into a large university, or getting those large university scholarships, but is not the only factor to locking in the money, because a full tuition scholarship is a lot of money, and an essay is not going to do it all for you. An essay is just one of the components of the puzzle to getting that scholarship. So when I applied to college, I made sure that I only applied to colleges that matched my academic, social, and financial needs. I optimized every section of my common application for improved admissions and scholarship chances. I created personal relationships with admissions officers so that they knew my name and face. I would go to an admissions fair and they knew who I was. When my essay and my application came up on their desk, they could put a face to to my application. And I made sure I had strong recommendation letters that reinforced my worthiness to receive full tuition scholarships. I basically worked with my teachers to get recommendation letters. Like, I didn't just go and say, hey, can you write me a rec letter, leave, and then they submit it to the Common App. No, I worked with them one-on-one so we can get those rec letters. And all of these things are things that your guidance counselor probably doesn't teach you how to do. Like, they're not going to show you how to get on a personal level with an admissions officer. They're just not. They're just not going to teach you how to work with your teachers to get recommendation letters that say what you want, that reveal different things about your essay. So because you're not going to get this anywhere else, I created Admission Fruition. Admission Fruition is an 8-module e-course that shows you how to master the admissions process and receive scholarships to your top universities. So Admission Fruition, I worked on for 6 months because I wanted to take all of my research, all of my knowledge, and put it into one course for students who want to get full tuition scholarships. They want to get scholarships to universities. They can't afford to pay the full price of school. They want to just get into university. Maybe scholarships are like the second thing. They just want to get into some of their top schools and be confident that they're going to get admission. So this is why I made Admission Fruition. It was a really big project for me. And I really wanted to make sure that I had something to provide you guys for those who just want to take their admissions process to the next level. They just didn't want to like throw their chances. They wanted to be confident that they were going to get into school. So let's just talk about what Admission Fruition has, just so you know all about the course. So Module 1 helps with preparing for the college admissions process. So choosing your high school classes so that they are looking great on your transcripts. You're taking the right classes to get into colleges, your grades, GPA, and class rank, why those are important, and how to use those to get your full tuition scholarships. Additional educational experiences you can do that can better your chances of getting in, and clubs and extracurriculars. So for those of you who are a little bit confused about the activities resume, I teach you specifically how to make your activities resume. I show you, there's a copy of my activities resume in there, and I help you create yours so that it is ready for when you're applying to college, applying to scholarships, and writing your essays. So I show you how to optimize your activities resume for those really good and strong essays that help you get scholarships. So Module 2 is about searching for colleges. So remember how I said look up those freshman profiles, look up the merit scholarships. This is like broken down step by step in here. How to determine your ideal school, because you really shouldn't just apply to random schools. Like, there are schools out there that match you perfectly, and when you match with a school perfectly, that is when they're going to give you scholarship money. That is how you're going to get scholarship money. And then we talk about developing your college list. So after you determine your ideal school, you develop a college list that matches those traits. And then we talk about college visits and how to use college visits to better your admissions chances and things like that. So Module 3, we get into SAT, ACT, AP exams, and other standardized testing. So your test scores are a factor of whether or not you get a scholarship to a school. Some schools list directly what test scores you need, and some schools don't. So basically, I break down each test, how you can register, how you should study, test day best practices, understanding your scores, sending your scores, like what scores to send to which school, like, and all of those crazy things that you just don't get from your guidance counselor, we break down. How to prep, how to take the test, and how to understand the scores that you're getting. Module 4, we're going to get into building relationships with colleges. So this is my favorite module because you need to make personal relationships with colleges. Like, you need to know your admissions officer's name. You need to know what students they're working with. You need to know where they are, what college fairs they're going to be at. Like, this is the key to getting your scholarships. Like, just think about it. If you were an admissions officer and you had two people and you could only choose one to give a scholarship to, are you going to choose a student who you've been emailing, who you've seen in person, who you made jokes with? Or are you going to choose a student who's like equally like as well academically, but you haven't seen them, you don't know what they look like, you don't know where they're from? Like, you're going to choose a student you have a personal relationship with. So that's why I spend a good chunk of time talking about college admissions representatives, as well as like other on-campus connections that you can utilize before the college admissions process, during it, and after, once you get to school. Like, I have some relationships that I made while I was applying to college that I still have while I'm at USC, and like, I have mentors now that I just had from applying to college. Module 5, we talk about getting ready for your applications. So I'm going to delve into that activities resume, your recommendation letters. Oh my gosh, I have, in Admission Fruition, you actually get the recommendation packet that I gave to my teacher to write my recommendation. Like, I gave her a legitimate packet of my activities resume, an outline, all of that stuff. This is how I got my recommendations to say what I wanted them to say, and how I got them to reveal things that other aspects of my application didn't reveal. Like, this module has so much value. It's actually crazy because I literally went and found the document that I gave to my teachers and just dropped it in the course. Like, you will be able to model your own packet, hand it out to your teachers, and get amazing recommendations. It's actually kind of crazy, and I'm so excited for you guys who are in the course to use these to get some awesome recommendation letters. And then we talk about your final college list, and then I have a worksheet for you guys on getting that college list together. So this is 5 modules. This is an 8-module course. Like I said, this took 6 months to make, so there's so much stuff in here that you're just not going to get from like a workshop or Googling or things like that. Like, I took everything I learned and threw it into this course, plus more research. Then we get into completing your application. So senior year, this is going to be like your go-to module. So we talk about the types of applications, when you're supposed to apply, like early decision, early action, like how that can influence your scholarship, money, things like that. We have a ebook. There's a free ebook in here that goes through like each section of the Common App and how you're supposed to fill out each individual space in the Common App. So how to optimize each space to better your admissions chances and your scholarship chances. Then there's a section on essays and supplements, and a essay brainstorm guide, which is really useful if you want more essay help, because I go a little bit more into essays in that. And then there's a section on admissions interviews and auditions. So admissions interviews and auditions are another aspect that doesn't get talked about a lot. Like, you can actually sit down with an admissions officer and have a conversation and kind of just better your chances of getting into the school through admissions interviews. So we talk about that in Module 6. So Module 7 gets into financial aid and scholarships. And we go over need versus merit-based aid, outside scholarships, institutional scholarships. There's a scholarship list worksheet, scholarship boot camp, which you guys can get free access to right now, the scholarship boot camp, if you guys just go to yougotintowear.com. But kind of taking everything we learned and trying to figure out how you can get money for school, because that's basically the most important thing, getting your money for school. So that's Module 7. And lastly, Module 8 is kind of like the final step, how you can choose where you want to go to college. So after you get all of your acceptances, we kind of talk about how you can handle getting accepted, denied, deferred, or waitlisted, and factors to consider when making the final choice. So this is a lot. That's 8 modules, but that is not it. Like, in Admission Fruition, you get a couple bonuses. So you get the Dear Admissions Essay Brainstorm Guide, which is a PDF kind of ebook I made that kind of goes over some of the stuff we went over in this free webinar, but it's like a workbook, so you can write in it, you can do fun things, and help get your essays on fleek. You also get the Hack the Common App ebook, which I kind of mentioned, which is the foolproof guide to filling out your application. So if you need someone to hold your hand on the Common App, like literally you don't know how to fill out your activities, you don't know how to fill out your courses, like this goes over each step to hacking the Common App. So this is a very valuable resource that you're going to get for free if you get the course. And then I have a few bonuses exclusive to people who are still on this webinar. So if someone left this webinar, I'm kind of feeling bad for them because you guys get some awesome bonuses. So the first bonus is a 20-minute fruition call with me. So a fruition call is basically a one-on-one call. Yes, one-on-one. We'll get on the phone and we can talk about any aspect of your college admissions process. So if you're a freshman, we can outline a 4-year plan to getting you into any college that you think you want to get to. If you are a senior, we can talk about your essays specifically. I can give you 20 minutes of feedback on your essay and help you outline your essay. If you just don't really know where to get your teacher recommendations from, we can talk about your teachers and we can figure out who is the best person to write your recommendation letters. If you want to get to know some admissions officers personally, I can talk to you about how to get to know those admissions officers. 20 minutes of whatever you want. This is coming with the course for free for only the people in this webinar. So I'm going to be on the phone with you guys. We're going to be brainstorming, getting your lives together. There's another bonus, a free copy of You Got Into Where. Everyone on this webinar who signs up for Admission Fruition is going to get a free copy of the book that started it all, You Got Into Where, How I Received Admissions and Scholarships to the Nation's Top Universities. You will get a copy mailed to you if you are on this webinar and sign up for Admission Fruition. So it is lit. You'll get 20 minutes on the phone with me, you'll get a copy of my book, and you'll get the whole course. Basically, you are set for getting into colleges. So let's talk about the course. How much is the course? It is a one-time payment of $147. One-time payment of $147. So before you freak out, think about this. Most college admissions courses online are upwards of $500, $1,000, sometimes even more. I've been sent some crazy courses to promote for you guys on my YouTube channel. Just certain things where like they're just charging crazy money. But you know me, you guys know me. That's not how I roll. So I wanted to create a course that provided equal, or in my opinion, even better value for an amazing price. So I just needed to provide something for you guys that wasn't going to rip you off and was going to get you some scholarships. So think about this. If you invest $147 into this course, you could get a full ride to college, which is like $200,000. So I'm pretty sure the return on investment is right there. Yeah. So in addition to all the bonuses, let's just recap. You receive lifetime access to all 8 modules, access to me and other students in the private Admission Fruition Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group, so not only do you get to talk to me on the phone for 20 minutes, you get to access to me like throughout your whole 4 years of high school, however long you have until you're submitting your applications. In this group, you can get feedback from students, you can get feedback from me and our private Facebook group. In the group, we're going to be doing private live streams. We're going to be doing giving you free resources, even more resources. Like, see this live stream, how we're throwing out this value. We're going to have some exclusive for people in the course just to make sure you guys are on the right track. And free worksheets, checklists, ebooks. Like, this course is crazy. Like, I can't believe I'm giving all this away. Like, I might go and change the price of this course after this. Like, no, I'm joking. I'm not gonna change the price. But you know, the next time this course goes live, it might be like $100 more. I'm just throwing that out there because you know, as I'm reading this to you guys, I'm like, dang, I'm giving away a lot. But it's all jokes. I really wanted to give you guys a lot of value for the price. So, yeah. So, now that I've thrown a lot about you, let's do a Q&A, and I'm going to update the links because I know you guys said the links weren't working, because in 1 hour, which is not at 2 p.m., which is at 1:30, all of this is going to go away. Your 20-minute fruition call, your free book, yeah, you're not going to get any of that after an hour. So take the time to send questions. This is your time to send questions. We're going to do like 15 to 20 minutes of question time. Any questions you have about essays, the course, college admissions, and I'm going to update the links while you guys send questions, and I'll let you know when the links are completely updated, so you guys can go ahead and do what you got to do. Okay, so I am updating the links currently. I'll let you know when they are up and running. So we have one question from Gabriel. I'm applying to 2 foreign exchange scholarships. This involves mini short essays. How do I make sure word limit essay perfect? How would you know you're done with your essay? So you can literally, if you're asking about word count, you can literally, there's Google word count thing, and just copy and paste your essay into there. And I would maybe, you can just go somewhere like a web page and see how much 250 words actually is. And you then want to kind of take the steps we talked about in the webinar to figure out how you want to write your essay, outline your essay. And instead of figuring out what the university wants, you figure out what the scholarship people want from you, figure out how many people are getting the scholarship, figure out what types of people got the scholarship previously, all of those things you want to do. And as far as staying up with that word count, you just make sure you don't go over. They put the word count there for a reason. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can copy and paste these links into the chat. Okay, so I copied and pasted the links into the chat, and I'll keep pasting it in here as more questions come in. So let's do another question. Why are you so awesome? Oh my gosh, you're so nice. Let me take this off. Oops. I want you guys to see me while I answer these questions. But, okay, awesome. Let's make this small. Cool, cool. So, like I said, at 1:30 p.m., your freebies are ending. So, don't get stuck in these questions. If you want to get the course and get the freebies, you can come back. I'll stay on the live stream so yeah, I can answer your questions. Okay, so if I'm only a junior, how helpful would this be now? If you are a junior, by the time you're a senior, oh my goodness. If I had this when I was a junior, I would have got full tuition to like all my schools. But like I said, this course is to better your chances. So if you are not a senior, you have a greater amount of time to better your chances by getting higher grades, by scoring better on your test scores. Like some of those things, if you're a senior, you can't influence right now, like your test scores if you've already taken the test. But if you still have tests, then of course that's going to be something you can use the course for. But if you are a freshman, sophomore, junior, and you get this course now, you'll have full lifetime access, so you can come back to this course every year of high school and go back to it and make sure you're doing the right things. Like, you can go through the full course now, and then maybe if you're a freshman, then junior year, you go through it again and make sure you're on track. You'll have access to the Facebook group. So things that aren't covered in the course, we can talk about in the Facebook group. I'll be doing live streams in the Facebook group. Like, there's crazy value that comes with signing up for it earlier in high school. If you're a senior, there's still value of signing up for it because you're about to press submit. You paid money to apply to these schools. You paid money for your tests. Like, before you press submit, how about you go back and use the things that you learned in this course to better your chances, to fix up your Common App, because your Common App could have a lot of mistakes right now, and you could have already submitted to a couple schools, but you don't want those mistakes to be in every application. Like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 schools you had a few mistakes or slip-ups, but you can go take this course and then use that information to better your chances at these other schools that you still have to apply to. You can switch up your college list by going through this course and realizing, oh, these schools don't match me academically, socially, and doing that. Like, it's so important to figure those things out. Oops. Okay, next question. Okay, we got a lot of questions. What SAT score do I need to be competitive for scholarships at USC? So to figure that out, you are going to go Google USC freshman profile, and you can look at all their scores. That's for any school. So if you're trying to figure out what scores you need or things like that, GPA for certain schools, all you do is Google the freshman profile and you'll be good. Okay. Oops. I keep moving around these screens. So I put a little timer here. This is your timer for the freebies for the course. So make sure if you're trying to get those freebies for the course, you keep eye on this timer. It ends at 1:30 p.m. So I'm going to just keep that right here. Okay, so questions. I really want to go to Temple University. A rep doesn't come to my school for the college fair, so how can I email them so I can be familiar face-to-face via email? Yeah, so you can go look up the admissions representatives at Temple and find out their email. You can call the admissions officer and see who you're supposed to call. There's a lot of things you can do to figure that out. Just make sure, and like in the course, actually have an email template for what specifically to say in your email. I like right off my top of my head, I don't know the template, so you're gonna have to like get that in the course, but there's literally a copy and paste email template for introducing yourself to admissions officers and creating those relationships. So that's something to consider as well. But yeah, if you're not going to see them in person, reach out to them. Say you're a student at this high school, and ask them if there's anyone that's going to be near your school. Look up college fairs that are in your city or in close cities, and you'll be able to figure that out and kind of start talking to them. Chandler says, he sent his essay topics, how narcolepsy has impacted me, being afraid of water. Yeah, those are cool things. Like, if you can turn a negative into a positive, that's great. Just know how to do that. Make sure you are in a note. If you're just joining this live stream, you guys have 50 minutes basically until the freebies cancel. So a free copy of my book and a free the free fruition call, which is a 20-minute call one-on-one with me that goes with the admission fruition course. Let me see if the description box updated. Yeah, the description box didn't update it, but in the chat box are the links. I don't know why these links aren't updating. yeah, so use the links in the chat box for the course to get the free book copy and all of that. So for the bonuses and things like that. So I'm going to send it one more time. And then we're going to get back to the questions. Just to make sure you guys have all the links right there. I'll keep sending this in periodically so you guys can know that. Okay, so back to the questions. How do I go about applying if I want to double major? I want to double major in music production and recording arts and journalism. However, that requires 2 different applications. So if you have programs that require different applications, then that means that they want you to like make your application specific to that major. So you might be applying for like a dance or arts program, and that might require an audition. It might require a portfolio. And if you want to be in that program, you got to go and do those things. So it's just going to take a little bit of extra time, but you basically just fill out each application, optimize it, use the Admission Fruition course to help you go through each application. Hack the Common App guide will really help you with that. But you want to make sure that you look at each program, see what types of students they're looking for, and then use that information to fill out your applications. There's probably no way of getting around having to do 2 separate applications, but just take your time, make sure you schedule enough time to get those applications done, and you should be good. Okay, what was your GPA at the end of high school? My GPA was a 3.9 out of 4.0 unweighted GPA. For those of you asking if you have a chance of getting into a school with a certain test score or GPA, we talked about freshman profiles. So go on Google and type in your school freshman profile and look at the test scores and things that you need to get into that school. So I won't be answering any questions about like if you have a good chance, because you can just go on Google and figure that out. And just know that that is not the only factor to getting into a school is like your test scores or your GPA. You just really need to use all of your aspects, like your extracurriculars, your academics, your essays, all of those things to help you get a better chance of getting into a school. Okay, my SAT is very low, and because that area I live in, many teachers don't care to teach. Even if I self-study, I still feel it's low. Is there anything you think I should do? Okay, so there's many things that you can do. You can get an SAT or ACT tutor to help you. You can look at some YouTube videos. YouTube videos are great. They're a free resource where you can get help. I have videos on the ACT. You can still watch those for SAT. They give a lot of study tips, but there are SAT specific videos and things that you can look at. And if you are really struggling with self-studying, yeah, a tutor is great. I had a tutor for the ACT, and I currently tutor students. You can just go to yougotintowear.com, and you'll find my tutoring services. Okay, like I said, if you guys are having trouble with the links in the description box, you might have to refresh. But if you guys want the links to the free essay guide and Admission Fruition with all the bonuses, just look in the chat box, and I have linked them both in there. So go to the chat box if you want the links to those. And the bonuses for Admission Fruition are ending at 1:30, which is in 45 minutes. The bonuses are the Dear Admissions Essay Brainstorm Guide, the Hack the Common App ebook, And then exclusive to people in this live stream, we have the 20-minute fruition call with me, where you can get on the phone with me for 20 minutes and we can talk about your admissions process, any questions you have. We can talk about your essay, your test scores, anything. You have 20 minutes of my attention and we can discuss your process. And then you get a free copy of You Got Into Where, the book that started all. You get a free copy of the admissions guide. It's rated 4.9 stars on Amazon. It's a great resource that will help you as you go throughout the course. So those are the bonuses that are ending at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is in 44 minutes and 22 seconds. So go talk to your parents, figure out how you guys can get in the course, because I'm so excited. Like, there's already some students in the course who are getting started. We're having some great conversations in the Facebook group. We're doing big things for this course. And if you guys wanted a recap of the things you're getting lifetime access to all 8 modules, access to me and other students in the private Admission Fruition Facebook group, private live streams and resources, free worksheets, checklists, ebooks. You're getting 6 months of my life that I poured into this course. If you just click on the link that I'm sending in the chat box, you can get more information on the course. There's a ton of stuff that are on that page, so click on that link for the course information. So back to questions, and let me pull that timer back up just so you guys know how much time you have until all the bonuses in and things like that. So questions. Xavier says, do you have to type an essay for every college you apply to? So the Common Application has one main essay that will be sent to all the colleges you apply to with the Common App. But there are supplemental essays, which we didn't talk that much on this session, but we do talk about in Admission Fruition, which are college-specific essays that have certain prompts that the specific college will want you to write. So you'll have your Common App essay that goes to everyone, and then supplements just go to one college. So if every college you're applying to has a supplement, then you're going to have to write a separate essay for every college. But those are usually shorter. So does the link still not work? Let me know if one of the links isn't working. Oh, maybe because it's linking the sign up. Try the most recent links I sent. I think when I was first sending it, it was sending like part of the words I put in the message. So that's why it didn't work. Okay, so next question. From Lacey, do you need to get different letters of recommendation for each college applied to, or can you use the same letters for all your applications? Yeah, you use the same letters for all your applications unless a college has specific recommendation requirements. Some colleges are like, you have to have recommendations from a math teacher, you might have to have recommendations from people who taught you your junior and senior year. So you can switch out which recommendations you send to each college, but usually you just send the same ones to every college. Grace says, my ACT and GPA are really good, but I don't have any activity stuff and I haven't been recognized for much, so I feel like I can't make any really strong points of why I deserve a scholarship somewhere. So this is when you really have to get into self-reflection if you're not someone who's involved in activities. Think about, why aren't you involved in other activities? Are there other responsibilities that you have to attend to that don't allow you to be in activities? Are you working? Do you take care of a family member? Are you involved in a church or a volunteer organization? Do you work on something like a YouTube channel? Like, what are you doing in your time that you're not doing an activity? Because usually those things are stressed a lot in your college application process, like being involved in high school and things like that. But think of other things. Do you travel? Think of hobbies that you like to do. Do you do arts and crafts? Are you a dancer? Even if it's just something small, you can make it something large, a large part of your life. So it doesn't have to be something as formal as like debate team. But if you really like doing makeup, then use that and leverage that in your essays and things like that. Guys, there are 39 minutes left for the freebies. It ends at 1:30 p.m. So let me resend that link just so you guys have it in here. Because I know we got a lot of questions. Let me see if that essay link isn't working. I wonder why. Maybe my RSVP ended. Yeah, if the free essay resource isn't working, I'm gonna send a new link for that. So be patient. I'm trying to multitask and do the questions too, so you guys can get your questions answered. We have about like 9 more minutes for questions. So we're gonna go through that. We have someone who started a nonprofit organization for girls' educations, and my biggest worry is trying to show my passion to the admissions officers, and I don't want to sound stuck up, so how would I go by writing? Okay, so your admissions essay is where, like, the one place where nobody's going to judge you for bragging, but it shouldn't be bragging. You have to show what you've done. Nobody's going to know what you've done just by looking at your essay. Like, you have to kind of outline everything you've accomplished, and you shouldn't be ashamed of what you accomplished. But you can get feedback from people to see, like, if they think you're sounding stuck up per se in your essay, but I'm sure you won't come off that way, because just from asking that question, you sound really modest, and I feel like you wouldn't write your essay that way. So I say put everything out on paper and then get feedback, and if people say that it sounds like too much, then that's when you make your edits. But go ahead, put everything down that you've accomplished, that you want to say, that you want your admissions officers to know about you. And that's when you want to then get feedback if people say it's too much. Okay, so I'm going to send the new link for the freebie, and we're going to figure out why this wasn't working. Okay, so I'm sending the new link for the freebie, and you guys should have that. Cool. So next question. No, yeah, so the free essay guide is supposed to go to the registration page for the webinar. It's just because only people who RSVP'd are getting the essay guide. So if you already RSVP'd, you're going to get the essay guide. If you did not RSVP, go ahead and RSVP through that link. Rosa says, I'm a sophomore in high school. Is it too early to go on a college tour to USC or contact my college admissions council? No, it is not too early. It's never too early. People go on college tours in like middle school. But as the earlier you get in contact, the better. So know that you should start early as possible. Don't wait. Many people who start their senior year are stressed out. So, yeah, it's never too early. It's never too early to enroll on Mission Fruition. Like, the earlier, the better for everything dealing with this process, because you only have one chance to apply to these schools. So the earlier you start and the earlier you get your test scores knocked out and things like that, you'll be better off. Do you get paid or compensated for good grades? Are you asking about like in college? Because no. But like if you're asking about like scholarships, good grades are like a factor to getting scholarships. Do you think Khan Academy is a good resource for studying for the SAT? Yeah, a lot of people use Khan Academy and say great things about it. You can see if that study method works for you. Just know that every study method doesn't work for every student. So if you're not getting results, then you can switch to maybe getting a personal tutor. You can switch to just doing independent study. You can see if your high school offers any free SAT classes or somewhere in your community and things like that. We have another question about talking about yourself without sounding boastful. Yeah, so just know that like an admissions officer knows that this is like your chance to talk about yourself. And think about it as a conversation. Like if you're talking to someone maybe for like a job interview, you have to tell them everything that you've done, like just so they can get to know who you are. But you're not gonna, instead of being like, yeah, I was the best person on my team, instead of saying you were the best, kind of just give an example of something you've done. So you can say like, I don't know, instead of saying like you were the highest performing student in your high school class, you can say you were the valedictorian. That's a more humble way to talk about that. Just think of alternatives, you know, for things like that. Is GPA critical? Yeah, GPA is pretty important, especially when it comes to getting scholarships. Like I said, you can look up the freshman profile and things like that. So guys, there are 33 minutes left to get the freebies for the admission fruition course. So if you guys came into this late, let's talk about what you're gonna get. So you get the Dear Admissions Essay Brainstorm Guide, the Hack the Common App Foolproof Guide to Filling Out Your Applications ebook, the 20-minute fruition call with me. Me and you will get on the phone and you can ask all of your questions one-on-one. And you get a free copy of You Got Into Wear sent to you, a physical copy of the book, rated 4.9 stars on Amazon. Received so many good reviews from students. And the book will be a great resource for when you are going over your fruition course and things like that. Fruition course, it's so real. It's so real. Guys, I spent 6 months on this baby. Like, this is my child. You guys don't understand how excited I am for you guys. The people who are already in the course, if you're here, shout outs to y'all, because y'all are just living your best lives. I see I can track your progress and see how you guys are doing. And I'm so excited for you all and like the colleges that you're going to get into. So there are a few questions I didn't get to answer, so I'm going to try to go through these super quick. So we can make sure everyone gets their questions answered. So let me just add this to the screen. Cool. All right, so let's answer these last questions. If you're still sending questions, you can shoot me an email, and I'll put my email in the chat box as well if you still didn't get your question answered. All right, so let's make this kind of small so we can get back to your questions. All right, so there's 30 minutes exactly left until your freebies end. So I say if you haven't clicked on the link to the course and you're interested, go click on that now. Just like open up a new tab and you can still listen, but definitely look at that. Look over that with your parents. You can come back and watch this live stream, but your freebies will be over. So definitely I say go take some time to look at that if you didn't go look already. So let's get back to these last minute questions. Let's see where I left off. Where did I leave off? You're interested in the Irvine and Young Academy at USC. If you know anyone you can talk about, yeah, just call the Irvine and Young Academy, and you can ask to speak to like a student, or you can ask to speak to like an admissions person for Irvine and Young, and they'll hook you up with someone. Do you have any advice for applying to USC? I really want to get into the school at Cinematic Arts. Yeah, I have a ton of YouTube videos on USC, why I chose USC, and then all of my admissions videos. So I say go watch those, and then shoot me over any questions that you have about USC specifically. I say USC is really big on like the cinematic arts. I know you guys have like separate supplements and applications and things like that. So definitely try to get in touch with someone in the cinema school and see. I'm pretty sure on YouTube you can see like people's submissions and stuff like that. So definitely see how other people applied. Ashley wants to know how to be motivated to study for the ACT and how to improve your self-studying skills. So I say just add it. Add it as any homework assignment. So for school, if you have a homework assignment, you're gonna do it that night because it's due the next day. So set deadlines for yourself like that for your studying. Write it in your planner where you put your homework, and just treat it like a homework assignment that's gonna be due. And it also should be treated like as more important, because that can lead to like your admissions, your scholarships, which are things that are more important than just some random assignment in a class. So definitely like treat those as like really important assignments that you have to get done. If you already signed up for the program, do you already have all the bonuses mentioned? So you'll get the bonuses that correlate with when you signed up. I keep track of who's getting what bonuses. So we can talk about that in the Facebook group, Darcy. Yeah, so for you guys confused about the first link, you still need to type in your information in that link. It's the RSVP page for this webinar, but if you did not RSVP, you need to be RSVP'd so you can get the resources. For those of you who already RSVP'd, you're going to get them. That is the right link, guys. Okay, so this is the last. Okay, so if you guys have questions, I'm typing in my email. That is the email you can send questions to, because we're about to wrap up this webinar. You have about like 25 minutes or so until your bonuses end. So for those of you who missed out on us talking about the course, I can do a quick overview before I leave. So Admission Fruition is an 8-module course that is outlining how to better your chances of getting admissions and scholarships to Yale universities. This is a course that I spent 6 months making, and is finally live and open for enrollment, and you get a ton of bonuses if you sign up today within the next 25 minutes. So Module 1 talks about preparing for the college admissions process, your high school courses, grades, GPA, clubs and extracurriculars, things like that. Module 2 is all about the college search, determining your ideal school. We have a couple of worksheets in there, college visits, your college list. There's the Module 3, which talks about all of your standardized testing, so SAT, ACT, AP exams, studying, registering, understanding your scores, and setting your scores. There's admissions representatives and on-campus connections that are covered in Module 4, so building personal relationships with admissions officers so that they know you on a first-name basis. Like, this is so important. Like, this is one of my favorite modules, like I said, because many students are applying to colleges and not even knowing the names of their admissions officers, or their admissions officers don't know them. So that's like really important. Module 5 talks about getting ready for your application. So activities resumes, like really breaking them down. I know we talked about them in this free webinar, but I really have examples of my activities resume, copies of my activities resumes that I had when I was a senior. Recommendation letters, I have example recommendation letter like outlines that you can give to your teachers, so your recommendations can say actually what you want them to say. And then we talk about your final college list. Module 6, we talk about completing your applications, when to apply, early decision, early action, all of those confusing things we break down. There's an ebook that you get, and we talk about essays more in the course. And then we talk about need versus merit-based aid, outside scholarships, institutional scholarships, scholarship boot camp, and a scholarship list worksheet, which is financial aid and scholarships, module 7. And the last module, we talk about making your final college decision, whether you're accepted, denied, deferred, and factors to consider when making your final choice. So there's bonus 1, which is the Dear Admissions Essay Brainstorm Guide. Bonus 2, which is the Hack the Comment app, ebook, and then exclusive to this call, which is ending, these bonuses are ending at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is in like 24 minutes. We have the 20-minute call with me, which is where you can discuss your college admissions process specifically to you. The free ebook, not ebook, physical book, you're going to get this mailed to you, the free copy of You Got Into Where, the book that started it all, rated 4.9 stars on Amazon. You're going to get a free copy of that book. And all of this for $147. And you receive lifetime access to all 8 modules, access to me and other students in our private Admission Fruition Facebook group, and private live streams and resources, free worksheets, checklists, ebooks, everything. And this all ends in 22 minutes, 41 seconds. It's real, guys. I hope you guys learned a lot in this webinar. I sent my email. If you have extra questions that we did not have time to cover, I stayed on here for extra 10 minutes with you guys. But I really just want you guys to get all the value that you can, because the time is ticking. Whether you are a high school senior, freshman, whatever, you are on a clock. Your money is valuable, and you want to put it in the right place, because there are people out here charging $1,000 for courses, and this course offers equal, if not more valuable information for a way more affordable price. I will be in this course with you guys throughout every step. I'll be hosting more live streams like this, exclusive for people in the course. It's going to be super fun, and I really hope that you guys get the value from this course. If you guys really want to know what you're getting, you can just click on the links that I'm sitting in the chat boxes for the Admission Fruition course, and you can look at the landing page which has all the information for the course. It goes over all the modules and things like that. So click on the link, and you will be taken to the page that describes it all. As far as the bonuses, if you sign up in the next 20 minutes, you're getting a free 20-minute call with me, and you're getting a free copy of You Got Into Where, which is the book that you'll get mailed to you. So please, if you enjoyed this webinar, please send me some emojis of how you feel. If you enjoyed this, send me some thumbs up, send me some confettis. Like, I really want to know if you guys enjoyed this, if you guys learned something, took something away. If you guys clicked on that first link, which is the free essay guide, which is also the RSVP, you'll be sent a replay of this, so you'll be able to watch it over. If you came in late, you'll be able to rewatch this and get all of your value and resources and things like that. So I'm going to be leaving in about 30 seconds. So I just really want to know if you guys enjoyed this. And like I said, I gave you guys my email. You guys have all the resources you need. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're not subscribed, and be notified when other things like this are happening. So I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the course in Admission Fruition, where we will start getting you them scholarships. Yes. All right. Bye, guys.